Well, first, my name is Roger. Albina is also on here. Um, some of you are in our 300-hour training, and some of you are joining specifically for Ricky. And either way, welcome. It's our honor and our privilege to host Ricky Tran tonight. Um, and it's really easy for us to speak great things about Ricky because we feel like we know him really well. We've known him for a long time. And he was really one of the very first guest teachers that we ever had at our studio. I think maybe all the way back to 2009. He came to Yoga One in Houston, and he's been coming ever since. And it's been somehow in our lives ever since. And really, the first way we were introduced to Ricky was over the internet via Facebook. He was a really kind of early adapter and all that. And what first we were in awe of him over was his physical practice. He just had such a strong, graceful physical practice and was able to do really amazing, mind-blowing things. And that's kind of first how he got our attention. However, once we got to know him, really, I don't really even think of him and his in terms of his physical practice anymore at all, because he has such a deep philosophical yogic outlook on things, and in such a deep studied yogi that he's like really, I think his philosophical skills and experience and depth far outshine what he's able to do physically, although his physical practice is still really beautiful. I think one of the greatest things is to see his evolution as a yoga teacher, a yoga student for life, and really deep diving into the philosophy. So he's also a good friend of ours, and it's just an honor and a blessing to be able to host him. And I know that Albina feels the same way. We both just really love Ricky, and we wanted you, our 300-hour people, to be able to experience just a taste of what Ricky really could offer you in this intro to Sanskrit and in his deep dive into the sutras. So for those of you who've done our 200 hours or a 200 hours, this is going to go way deeper into the yogic philosophy with Ricky. Anything else you want to add, Albina, before Ricky starts?
What comes to mind is a few months ago, before the pandemic, imagine our living room and Roger is splayed out on the floor and Ricky is walking all over his back and his thighs and his legs. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. This is what yogis do when we get together. So Ricky, I concur, I agree with everything that Roger said. Ricky is a fellow yoga teacher. He is also our yoga teacher and our beloved friend. So it is our honor and our privilege to introduce to you Ricky Tran. Jazz hands.
That's how we cheer on Zoom.
How we cheer on Zoom? I like it. Well, thank you so much, you guys. Roger and Albina, like they've said, I've known them for over a decade now. And so just something about them, they've been so gracious as hosts every time I come, when I come around. Sometimes I went to Houston, I didn't see you guys, but every time I do see you guys are always the most gracious hosts. And even in Austin, when I visited you guys in Austin. So just wonderful people, very, very intelligent, amazing business yogis. I see a lot of yogis out there, yoga teachers, and I think one of the things that a rare combination that you will find is people who are proficient in the practice, people who can proficiently teach the practice, and then the business side. That's like, they're like business gurus. So I've learned so much from you guys. I remember so many conversations with you guys at your house, driving in the car with you, Roger. We're just talking and they're just dropping all kinds of business knowledge. It blows my mind. Thank you guys so much for all of your support over the years, Roger and Albina. And I'm very grateful and honored to be here as well for you guys. Thank you. It's weird seeing everybody and everyone's on mute. Okay, so I guess with that, let us begin. Are you guys going to stay on as well, Roger and Albina?
Off and on.
Awesome. Okay. Before we begin, I mean, we have what, 10 hours or so? Is that right? The 10 hours will probably go by pretty quickly. Of course, that depends on your attention span and my delivery and our technology. But before we begin, I'd like to offer a little prayer. It's in Sanskrit. It's something I've learned from my teacher. And I'll share this with you in writing in a minute if you like. Or actually, how do I screen share here? Let me see here. Let me pull it up first, and then I can screen share. This is nice. I like this. You guys bear with me as I adapt to this technology. If it's one thing I can do, I can adapt. Okay, learn. Okay, so let's see here. Go back to Zoom. Back to Zoom. That's not Zoom. Hang on. What's this? Where are you, Zoom? Okay. Screen share. So can I share a screen with everybody?
You can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see here. Ooh, I have a whiteboard too. Maybe share. Okay. That's not where I want to go. Okay. So here's my website. You guys, can you guys see this? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So under learn, there's chant right here. Clicking on that, and this is what I'm going to offer you guys. This is a Shanti pot. Shanti means peace in Sanskrit, Shanti mantra or a peace chant. And Shanti pots are mantras that are invoked at the beginning of some topics. They are supposed to calm the mind of the reciter. That would be me and you, the environment around us. This is interesting because it's virtual. And reciting them is also believed to remove any obstacles for the task that is about to start. So I think this is appropriate for our time. Here's a little picture of me, 100 people, and there's little me at Kripalu, if you ever heard of that place, Kripalu. Okay, so here's the Sanskrit or Samskritam. This is the actual Sanskrit. This is the, can y'all see my cursor? Yeah, okay. The transliteration, so this is literally how it sounds. And see these little lines here, these marks mean something. And I'll get this into a little more detail later, but when you see a line on the bottom here, you bring the note down, sa, ha, and then whenever you see a line on top, a little vertical line, it's an inflection up, na, and the horizontal line right there means to draw out the sound. So it's sa, ha, na. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, we'll go into it a little deeper later. But I'm going to chant this for you guys. It's an old Vedic chant. It's called the togetherness chant, or the student-teacher chant. Different ways to call it, I guess. And I learned this from my teacher, and he would chant this every time we would engage in a meaningful yoga topic. And so the translation, so there's the Sanskrit itself, and then there's the transliteration, the way it sounds, and then there's the translation, which is down here, the meaning, okay? So I'm gonna do my best to transmit my knowledge to you guys, and any errors are all me, my errors, my mistakes. I'm not perfect, but I'm going to do my best. And by reciting this, hopefully it removes any obstacles that may lie in between the transmission of the knowledge and you receiving the knowledge, which is going to be either me or you, right? So what does it mean? It says, Om, may we be protected together, or may God protect us together, the teacher and the students as a group. May we be nourished together. May we work together with vigor, vitality, energy, enthusiasm. May our study be enlightening. The word is actually luminous. May we become luminous together because of our time together. And may there be no hostility, excuse me, or enmity. The word enmity, it means like friction or static between two people, or sounds like the word enemy, right? Enmity. So may there be no enmity between one another. Om, peace, peace, peace. Here's another translation. Let us together be protected, and let us together be nourished. Let us together join our mental forces and strength, vitality and enthusiasm and benefit for the benefit of humanity. Let our efforts at learning this luminous knowledge be filled with joy and endowed with the force of purpose. Let us never be poisoned with the seeds of hatred for anyone. Let there be peace and serenity, Shanti. So this mantra highlights the nature of the teacher-student relationship that produces ideal results for the student. It's all about you guys. The transference of mental, spiritual, and intellectual energies from the teacher to the student can be achieved through a mutually nourishing relationship, which is based on mutual respect, joy of giving and receiving, and the absence of malice and negative thoughts. That makes sense, you guys? How do you say yes? Yes, thumbs up, I guess. All right. And then if you want to learn this later, there's right here, download the file. This was recorded in Houston at Jenny's place with the marble floors or whatever, the tile, I can't remember. And it was really echoey. There was like 30 something people in the room. Anyways, I recorded this. This is back in like 2009. So the first one's a solo chant where I do the whole thing. We're going to be chanting this every time we start so you can practice this. You can follow along. And then there's a call and response. This one right here is a call and response. So given these to you, you can download them, add them to your phone, your player, your computer, or whatnot. So there we go. And then after chanting this, well, it can be done before or after, but there's a chant to honor and recognize our teachers. And the way that goes is, here, I'll write it on the board. It's Om Shri. Can y'all see that okay? No? Bigger, maybe? Maybe I need to draw bigger.
Pretty far away.
It is pretty far away?
It looks far away.
Put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat? Okay. Good idea.
Post it and put it in the chat, yeah.
Okay. Let's see, how do we do this? Zoom. I don't feel like a spring chicken anymore because this technology. I remember being so good at it. Okay, let's see here. Zoom. Why isn't it open? What's going on? Okay, hang on. Do I have to stop the screen share? Stop share. No, we want to keep the share. Chat, pause, annotate. Annotate. I don't think I can chat while I do the screen. Can I? Okay, there it is. All right. So it's Om Shri Guru Bhyo Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. So can y'all see that? Does everyone see that? Give me a thumbs up if you have that on your chat. No, you don't see it on your chat. Maybe I need to send it. That might help. Okay. Okay. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Harihi Om. And so that can be done at the beginning or at the end of the chant. When I end the class, I'll do the Om Shanti mantra, Om peace, peace, peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And then I'll say Om, or I'll do Loka, I'll teach you this one too. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. It's that mantra right there. It means may all beings everywhere be happy and free. And then at the end, I'll go Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. And I'll think about all, in that moment, I think of all my teachers. Does that make sense? In that one instant, I think of everybody all at once, all my beloved teachers, everyone who's taught me anything. And that goes beyond my yoga teachers. It goes back to my parents, my school teachers, all the people who've done me wrong, in my mind, done me wrong. I think of everybody who's ever taught me anything. Does that make sense? That's how I do it. So it's just a way to for me to be grateful, and it works. Okay.
Which one, Ricky? Which one do you say for that, Ricky? Cheryl's talking.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hi. Is that the Om Shri?
Yes. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari.
Om. Okay, and tell me again the translation.
Guru is teacher. So Shri is like revered, beloved. Namaha is like namaste. It's like an honoring, a salutation. And Om is just the universal sound. And Hari is another name for the divine. So you can say a name of God, which are countless. But Guru is the word. Guru Bhyo is just like a version of the word. Does that make sense? The root word is Guru, which means teacher. Does that make sense? You good? Okay. So what I like to do now, since we're starting, we'll start off with that. So repeat after me. Om, Om, Shri, Shri, Guru Bhyo, Guru Bhyo, Namaha, Namaha, Harihi, Om, Harihi, Om. Okay, so we'll start with that, and then I will go through the, can y'all still see my screen share? Yes, looks like it's still sharing. I'm gonna go over this right here on the too. Okay. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamatu Ma Vidvishavahai. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May we be protected and nourished together. May we study with enthusiasm and vitality. May we glow brilliantly together. May there be no enmity between one another. And Om peace, peace, peace. Okay. Stop share. All right. I would like to spend a few minutes getting to know you guys. How many people are on the call? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 21. Is that right? That's it. Can you give me 1 minute.
By the way, the
So,
participants or number of participants is right down there where it says participants, and that includes you, I think.
oh, I see, 24. Okay, great. Can you, in less than 30 seconds, tell me a little bit about yourself? How long you've been practicing? I assume everyone here, except for a few, maybe might not be teaching yoga. What do you hope to get out of this? Probably the most important thing here, I want to know is what you're looking to get out of this these hours with me and Roger and Albina for this particular session only. Can we do that? Yes. So about 30 seconds, so we can keep this short. This tends to go over. Okay. So can we start with top left? I mean, I don't know if we're all seeing the same thing, but I see Michelle Brown. Hang on. So do I unmute or is she unmute?
Yes, I'm unmuted now. Hi, Michelle Brown, been practicing for over 10 years, teaching for about 3. I'm really very new to Sanskrit, so I'm just here to just try to learn as much as I can.
Okay. So you said, so 10 years of practice, and how many years of, did you say how many years teaching?
3 years.
3 years teaching, okay. Do you use Sanskrit in your teachings?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Other than Shavasana.
Okay, great. Awesome. Thanks for being here. Suzanne is next. Ask to unmute.
Hi, I'm Suzanne, and I have been practicing for about 12 years now, and I've been teaching for the past 7 years, mostly Baptiste Power Vinyasa. And my Sanskrit is really kind of held within the postures that I teach in my classes, and some mantra that I learned in my children's teacher training. So it's always something that I've kind of struggled to remember. So I'm looking forward to kind of get a deeper understanding of it to grow my knowledge.
Great. Interesting. You learn more in your kids training about Sanskrit. Okay, that's good.
Yes.
So I'm going to interject here because I feel like there are these great teaching opportunities. Feedback. You can teach a great yoga class without any Sanskrit, FYI. I get that question like, do I need to be a Sanskrit master to teach a good yoga class? I'm like, absolutely not. You don't need a lick of Sanskrit. But if you want to understand the philosophy, you need to learn Sanskrit. Because with Sanskrit, one Sanskrit word is so refined that it can take up to 1,000 or 1,500 English words to convey the full meaning of one Sanskrit word. So to understand philosophy, I don't think I would have the grasp of this knowledge without knowing a little bit of Sanskrit. So thank you. Do we want to skip Roger or no?
I'll chime in. I'm Roger. I've been practicing for 20 years. I've been teaching for 12 years, and I'm here just to hang out with y'all and absorb.
Hi, I'm Kathleen. Yeah, we can't necessarily see who's next, so it took me a while to unmute, but I'm Kathleen. I have been practicing yoga for 19 years and just started my teacher training journey about 2 years ago and have been teaching yoga to friends and family and to some charity organizations. And what I'd like to get out of this class, I just really am fascinated with languages anyway, and words and the origins of words. And as you just talked about how there's often, I mean, there's not a direct translation. There's just so much more to it than just, one word equals this word in another language. And So I just want to grow my connection to the practice of yoga and the philosophy of yoga.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think you're going to love this program. If you love the study of words and you're into yoga, oh, you're just going to eat this up. It's going to go by so fast. Okay, thank you, Kathleen. Next is Angela Kassler.
Hi, I'm Angela. Been doing yoga off and on for about 20 years and just graduated from Roger and Albina's yoga training. So I'm super new to the Sanskrit, but I just want to be open and absorb everything I can about it.
Ricky, you're on mute.
I said, thank you, Angela, and I'm glad to have you. And it's a little hard for me to hear you. I heard you, but I had to turn my volume up on my end, just FYI. Thank you. And next up is Elena, AKA Yoga Mom Velasquez.
Hello, Ricky. I met Ricky when he came to Dallas to Pure Yoga to do an advanced class, I think with Tamara. I think you came up to do an advanced class, and that's when I met him. So since then, I've been following you on Facebook, so I'm very honored to be part of this. I've been doing Bikram Yoga for about 16 years, taught for 7, and I just graduated from the 200 hours. I'm excited about that. So it's very, it's a new journey of teaching a different form of yoga, a different form of sequence. And so with Bikram Yoga, no, I do not use the Sanskrits. I just use just the English words. So this is very different for me to understand and have that connection of the deep meaning of the Sanskrits. So I'm looking forward to learn and understand of, you know, the words, connection with the body, connection with the pose, you know, of the postures. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm very honored to learn from you, Ricky. It's very, I appreciate it very much. Thank you so much.
Glad you're here. Thank you. Thank you. All right, next is Laura Roberts.
That is me. Hi, I'm Laura. I've been practicing yoga for about 7 years, and I am also a recent grad of the 200-hour training. So I have very little Sanskrit experience, but funny enough, when my dad he's a chemical engineer, spent his whole life in that industry, but he worked with a guy who is just kind of like a master of all things, and you know, also an engineer, but he really wanted to learn Sanskrit, so he went and got, I think, like a PhD in Sanskrit, even like after having like a steady job and everything. He just wanted to learn, and I strangely remember that from before I even started practicing yoga. So I've always been curious about it. And I don't know exactly why that story made such an impact on me, but I'm pretty excited to just kind of start the foundations and to have a deeper understanding of the meanings, and I think it'll really inform my practice and deepen my understanding. So thank you for doing this.
You're welcome, and that's amazing that you said your dad. Okay.
My dad's coworker. I wish he had done the Sanskrit PhD.
So Sanskrit the word itself means refined. The word itself means refined or perfect. Sanskrit means refined or perfect. And it's so refined, you know, there are over 200 words for rain in Sanskrit. They can define the type of precipitation with a very refined word. Over 200 of them. How many do we use? 5? You ever watch the news? You ever look at your app? How many words do we use to describe precipitation? A handful, right? And then maybe on an odd day, we might throw in an extra word. The weatherman might throw in a new word. You're like, well, I've never heard that before. Maybe 6 or 7 words. They have over 200 words. The syntax, the logic behind the way they structure their sentences and their communications is so perfect that it's supposed to leave no room for error in understanding. If you understand Sanskrit, which I only use it in the yogic sense, but if someone is a Sanskrit scholar and they're able to communicate with each other in Sanskrit, it would be so refined that there would be no misunderstanding. Isn't that wild? Can you imagine communicating on a daily basis with 0 error? No. Almost everything that is said and heard these days is misunderstood. Isn't it true? Yes. As a matter of fact, it's so perfect that NASA, we're still screen sharing. If you do a Sanskrit search, Sanskrit and NASA, can y'all see that? Let me see. Can y'all see that screen share? No? Hang on, how do we do this? Okay. Can y'all see it now? Yes? Okay. So all I did was type in Sanskrit and NASA, and this is what you get. Sanskrit is the best language for artificial intelligence. Is Sanskrit compulsory in NASA for AI? You can even, it'll even go down back in the day. There it is, NASA.gov, 2019, even before that. NASA applying AI technologies to problems in space science. You know what they're basing their programming on? Sanskrit. They're using Sanskrit as a language for artificial intelligence, machine learning, and space travel. Does that not blow your mind already? Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. Doesn't that blow your mind? Like, come on, really? Okay, thank you. That's all I have to say about that. Next up is Camille Heller.
Hi, I'm Camille. I've been practicing yoga for 12 years and teaching for 6. I use yoga, rudimentarily when I teach, and I feel like I have imposter syndrome around it because I know very little about it. So I'm really interested in kind of deep diving into the philosophy and learning more about just the language itself and feeling less impostery while using it.
Yeah, I get that. About the feeling impostery part. Just use what you know, don't make anything up. It's called, I look at the word satya. Have you heard of the word satya? Anyone not heard of satya? Satya means truthfulness. And so that's something that comes up in the teachings. And so just be truthful and you won't be an imposter, I get it. You want to be in front of the room and know everything, but sometimes I get questions from students and I don't have the answer, and you know what I say? I make it up. I'm kidding, I don't make it up. I tell them I don't know, and I could be wrong, but this is what I think if I have any thoughts about it. Or secondly, let me look it up and I'll get back to you. I just did a retreat recently, and 20 people were there. And it was my first time to meet a bunch of the people, and we were in a group environment, and people were asking questions and stuff. And if you're a teacher, usually all eyes are on you, and I guess people were listening to everything I was saying, like everything. And people would ask me questions, and I would say, I'll give an answer, and then someone else would say, are you sure? And I would always say, no, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure, but I'm highly confident. Or if I don't know, then I probably would have made it up or set it up, whatever. So anyways, I thought that might be something worth sharing. So thank you. And I'm glad you're here, Camille. Next up is Irene.
Hi, Ricky. Well, my name's Irene. I'm a student of Ricky's. I guess it's been about 5 years already. And Ricky's really helped me a lot by developing some customized yoga routines for me that have helped strengthen my body. It's gotten me through a number of things like my martial arts training and ballroom dancing. And so any opportunity that I can just learn from Ricky, I wanted to take advantage of that. So that's why I'm here. And I don't know anything about Sanskrit, so I'm looking forward to learning something.
Thank you, Irene. The other day, you guys, I was over at Irene's house doing a yoga lesson, and then we had lunch. She made this beautiful lunch for us. And we just got into a philosophical discussion. And it was highly spiritual, and some would say religious. You know, Irene, if you don't mind me sharing, is a devout Catholic. And I was sharing with her how I used to be a guest faculty member at Loyola Marymount University, Jesuit school, and I used to lecture on the topic of yoga. And anyways, that was after the fact that we talked about how long was it, maybe an hour?
Yeah.
Maybe an hour, and it was all like Sanskrit-based knowledge. Did I use any Sanskrit during our talk?
Yeah, that's what got me interested in it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because when I'm translating the theories, I'm going back to my Sanskrit understanding, and then I translate it into English and I project it that way. But sometimes I just have to pull up the Sanskrit in my head. Sometimes I'll say it, then I'll give an English translation, and that's what's going to happen this time in this session. There's going to be a lot of English. I'm not going to say things that I'm not going to use Sanskrit word without giving an English interpretation unless I've done it previously. Does that make sense? I think this is going to be super, super engaging for everybody. Thank you, Irene. Next up is Cheryl Alexander, second time to speak.
Hi, everybody. I'm Cheryl. I've been practicing yoga for 21 years, since 1999, almost daily. And I've been teaching for 17 years, since 2003, multiple times, almost daily. It's my passion, it's my calling, it's the purpose of my life, and it is why I am so interested in Sanskrit. My interest in Sanskrit began when I started learning and practicing Bikram yoga. And then when I went to Bikram yoga teacher training, I was determined to learn to pronounce in my, South Louisiana drawl, all of those beautiful Sanskrit words. And I'm excited to learn from you, Ricky, and get to see all these beautiful faces that I have grown to love since training with Albina and Roger. So thank you, everybody, for being here.
You're muted.
Am I next, Ricky?
Ricky, can you hear me? You're muted. We can't hear anything you're saying.
Got it. Okay. I was like, I don't know what I just said. What did I say? I said, thanks, Cheryl. Victoria's next, basically.
Okay, sorry. I'm Victoria. I have been practicing for over 9 years, teaching for over 5. My 200-hour training included some Sanskrit, mostly around poses. So I do use relatively a lot of Sanskrit in my classes, mostly because I want my students to feel like they're learning that side through osmosis. I don't want them to feel like left behind when they hear Sanskrit. So I try to use it that way. But I don't really know anything about the philosophy or the spiritual side that would intersect with Sanskrit. And so I'm really excited to learn all of that.
Okay, great. Thank you. Welcome. Carrie Kelsey is next.
Hi, I'm Carrie, and I haven't been practicing yoga very long. I started about 6 years ago, then sort of fell off, and then so it's really just been the last 3 years probably really how to practice. And then I just finished my teacher training this summer, so I've only been teaching really for a couple months. So all of this is new to me, and I'm just really excited to learn everything I can. So I'm excited.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so for all of you who are very new to this, just do your best to be like a sponge. Be like a sponge, because it's so much information. You know that saying, having a cup half full or half empty or whatever? No, that's not the saying. Okay, let me tell you a little story. There once was a master living up high in the, and this master was one of the most accomplished and beloved masters of all time, but he was sort of a recluse. Anyways, he lived far away. And throughout the land, there was this one guy, this young, very talented young master, if you will. But he couldn't find any teacher to teach him anything. He was able to do everything, and he seemed to know everything. So he went to the mountains to seek this one teacher out, this master. He comes up on the door, knocks on the door, and the senior master opens up the door, and he's like, want? The young master goes, well, my name is blah, 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 and I can do this, and I know this, and I know that, and I know this and the other, and I've studied this person and that person, and I just know all this. And the master looked him up and down, was like, okay, well, why don't you come in and let's have a cup of tea? How many of you guys have heard this story? No one's heard this story? Let's come in and have, you have yoga mom? No. Okay. Where was I? Come on in and have a cup of tea. At the little table, and the young master continues telling about all the things, all his accomplishments, everything all the teachers and everything, blah, 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 blah. As the older master sets 2 cups of tea, one in front and one, in front of the young master, and one in front of himself, and gets the hot tea kettle and starts pouring tea into the young master's cup. The young master is still continuing on and on about all this that he knows and everything, and he overpours the teacup, and it's scalding water, and it scalds his lap, and the young master jumps up and is like, "What are you doing? You just burned me, you crazy old man!" And the senior master starts pouring tea in his cup and says, "It matters not what I know and what I can teach you, because if your cup is full, you will retain. So make sure the cup is empty so I can fill it." Have you heard that before?
The monk who sold his Ferrari.
What's that?
The monk who sold his Ferrari. It's written in that book.
Yeah, well, that's not where I got it, but yes. So the idea is that be a sponge, but be an empty cup. You gotta throw out all the things you ever knew and absorb everything, and then that which doesn't serve you, just throw it out. But in order for you to retain any of this information, you're gonna have to empty your cup. Does that make sense? And so for you brand new people, it's gonna be easy because you don't really, you're just here to get it filled. Those of you who've been studying a little longer, I might teach you things that are different from the way you may have learned it or understand it or whatever. So I thought that was a good opportunity to inject that kind of knowledge. So thank you very much, Carrie. All right, next up is Linda. Linda Cow? Cool?
Cool. Cool.
Oh.
Yes. Hi, everybody. I've been teaching yoga about 12 years. My teacher before, he always teach yoga with all the pose with Sanskrit. So that's the beginning. I start to want to learn more. But after I move away from Asia, come here and I start taking yoga class and teach yoga class, I realized not many teacher uses Sanskrit in the class anymore. So I started forgetting. So true. So I really want to refresh and relearn again and see some things more interested there and I never know before. Thank you.
You're welcome. And like riding a bike, you'll learn it. You'll get it back pretty quickly. Yeah. Use it or lose it, right? That's what they say. Thank you. Wiggins. Yeah.
Hi. Okay. Hi, I'm Madison. I've been doing yoga for about 6 or 7 years. I taught for a little bit. I'm mainly like a kids yoga teacher more than anything. And I'm a hula hooper before I'm a yogi. So that's where I lay. I'm mostly in this to like just grow myself. So I'm definitely an empty cup. So yeah, I'm just excited to be here and learn.
Very good. Thank you, Madison. Next up is Sherry.
Hey, I'm Sherry. I've been practicing 10 years and I just started my yoga teacher training this summer with Roger and Albina. A lot of my teachers use the Sanskrit names for postures, but I'm fascinated about the language and the foundation of it and learning more about the philosophy.
Great. Real quickly about the names of postures. The same poses can have different names. Did you guys know that? Depending on the lineage, just so you know, yeah. Like one system might call crow pose Baka. And another system called crow Kagasana. It sounds similar, but anyways, it's the same pose. Okay, very good. Jordan Higgins.
Hey everybody, my name is Jordan. I've been practicing for about 12 years and I just finished my 200-hour training with a lot of these friendly faces this summer. So starting on my 300-hour and specifically with Sanskrit, I feel like I know a lot of the words here, but I can't get them to come out of my mouth correctly. I'm not sure if I just don't feel very confident saying them, but I can see them in my mind how I'm supposed to say them, but I can't get them to come out of my mouth. And then I'm also really interested in the additional limbs or the 8 limbs of yoga. And so I'd like to learn some of that vocabulary as well.
We will probably go over the 8 limbs quickly in this session, but I'm doing another session, which is all day Saturday, all day Sunday.
I'll be there.
I'll go over the Yoga Sutra, which is where the 8 limbs are found in more detail. Okay, and we'll actually go over like more than just the 8 limbs, but the description of the limbs and also practice and all that on this weekend. So thank you, Jordan. Next up is Anna Spain.
Hello, I'm Anna. Hi, everyone. I have been practicing since 72. That's all I'm going to say. But I was only practicing. I never really took it serious. And I was in the class with everyone else, with Albina and Roger. Roger's my nephew. And I got my certification to teach, but I haven't really taken the dive. I'm eager to learn as much as I can about Sanskrit because I was a teacher of languages and I had students that knew it, but I never had the connection between yoga and anything else. So I'm looking forward to this, Ricky.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Maria Nunez.
Hi. Um, I took my first yoga class in 2009, and it is important because the teacher was Sherry Alexander, who is now in the same class. Sherry, as good as you can be as a yoga teacher, a total inspiration. Every time I teach a yoga class, I think that I became a teacher because somebody was a phenomenal teacher with me. I feel the responsibility. I'm not in any ways as phenomenal as she is, but you know, trying. I did my Bikram yoga teacher training in 2011. That is.
You said Bikram? Did you say Bikram?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, Bikram, that has the Sanskrit posters and is a mandatory script, so you have to do it verbatim. Then I did with Albina in 2012 the 200 hours with Albina and Roger Vinyasa. I don't use Sanskrit in my classes, and I don't because English is my second language, and I find that it's very conflictive to keep adding languages. And I think that for sake of clarity, I need to focus myself because I still think in Spanish and I translate in English in a super high speed. So it's not really very conducive to add another one for practical reasons. I love the Sanskrit, and this basically is a treat for me, for myself. I'm really happy that this is part of the curriculum.
Very good. Thank you. Glad to have you. Cindy Dodson is next, and then Lori Schumacher is after that.
Wow, well, I'm very new to yoga, probably like 2 years. I just started doing my 200 yoga, now I'm doing the 300. Ultimately, because I'm just fascinated with languages in general, and I agree with Maria. I teach yoga in Spanish, and I teach it to the kids. And so for me, this is like adding something new, but I do enjoy it, and I feel like it's very syllabical like Spanish. So I'm just looking forward to learning more and deepening my knowledge overall and everything. I mean, I'm just fascinated. I hear 10 years, 12 years, I'm like, oh my God, I'm a baby here. So I'm really just excited to be that sponge today. My cup is completely empty.
If yeah, you're welcome. If you know Spanish or any of the Romance languages, it'll help because there's some sounds that are similar.
Yeah, that's what I was finding out because I just finished reading this and I found it like it was quote unquote easy read as far as like the pronunciation, or so I think, but then nobody was correcting my pronunciation. So
Yeah,
I
we'll
guess
work on that. Yeah, we'll work on that. Okay, thank you very much. Lori?
Hi, grateful to be here. Thank you, Ricky. I'm Lori, and I have been practicing since 2014, and I've been teaching for the last 3 years. And I am new. I really don't have a lot of experience with Sanskrit. I've taken classes from teachers who use Sanskrit and then follow it with the English language. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to maybe growing some new brain cells during this course, because it doesn't matter. You can be any age and still fire up some new neurons. So I'm looking forward to learning more about Sanskrit and the philosophy.
Great. Thank you, Lori. Mark is next. Mark Pattinson?
Pattenden. Yeah, hey, Ricky. We met a long time ago in a workshop that you led at Roger and Albina's studio in Houston. So I've been practicing yoga around 10 years. I qualified as a teacher 3 years ago in Qatar in the Middle East. And I've been teaching within my company and also online community classes and a few other community sort of events. My exposure to Sanskrit, when I think about my sequencing, I quite often use some Sanskrit cueing in my sequencing, and it really fascinates me. Since I moved to Canada, I've actually been going to a class here or classes being taught by a teacher who uses a lot of the Sanskrit chants and then the one that you used at the beginning of this class are very familiar from that through both Hatha Yoga, but also Kundalini, which was a pretty freaky experience, I must say. But my other kind of connection is I'm just fascinated by cultures, and when I travel, and just really getting and understanding the roots of languages and also the connection into all sorts of things. So, for example, in Japan, going to a really, really old temple, which predates sort of, let's call it near history, where there are actually Sanskrit writings in a what is now a Buddhist temple. And then, of course, I have a really deep connection to Bali. I lived in Malaysia. I've lived in the Far East for about half my working career, and spent a lot of time in Bali, and got some close friends there. And I'm really fascinated about the Hinduism in Bali, which is trapped in time, sort of around 1600s. And a lot of the stuff in Bali and the connection back to the kind of the roots of Sanskrit is really inspires me, excites me, energizes me. And I feel a really real connection to Bali, other than, of course, my own home country, which is New Zealand.
You got a Kiwi in the house.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you. Good to see you again. I don't remember when we met, but good to see you again. Danielle Bryan is next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Danielle. I live in Indiana. I've been practicing for 7 years, teaching for about 3 years. And I'm excited to learn from you, Ricky, and be with you all. I haven't been able to be here. My Sanskrit exposure has been more with meditation, more like chanting mantra and meditation. And I did some work with kirtan and kundalini yoga as well. So I'm excited to infuse it into my yoga teachings.
Thank you. So you're in India right now?
Not in Indiana.
Oh, Indiana. Got it. Okay. Yeah, because the connection's a little slow. It's like breaking up, but I heard most of it.
Perfect.
Thank you. Yes. You already went. Yoga Mom. Kathleen, did you go? Kathleen D, she's gone. Victoria's already gone. Jordan Higgins. Jordan Higgins in?
I'm here. I went, Ricky. Sorry,
Hi.
I'm trying to eat. Sorry.
Wait, you already went?
Yes.
Yes. Irene, Roger. Okay, so who hasn't gone? Kitson? Kitson? Okay, so it looks like, has everyone gone? Yes, give me a thumbs up if you've gone already. Okay, let us begin. Okay, so I'd like to first start by talking a little bit about the language itself. So you can have an understanding of where it's from, what other languages are influenced by it, okay, and its significance in yoga, and because this is a yoga teacher training, I'm going to focus on that. Its relevance in yoga, but you will find that Sanskrit is also used in Buddhism, in Sikhism, in a lot of other spiritual traditions in and around that area. And that area is see, the borders have changed over the centuries. You guys know that? The borders. So India used to look differently. Pakistan, Afghanistan, that whole area, all these borders are changing. Nothing is the same. It's always changing. So the area is India, but it's now, I think, Afghanistan, that area. Anyways, it's the Indus Valley, which was why they called it Hindi or Hindu. Before the Western explorers came, there was no Hinduism. Did you guys know that? There was no Hinduism. That's a fairly new word. Hindus back in the day never called themselves Hindus. Buddhist practitioners never called themselves Buddhists. I mean, it's just, things have changed in that respect as well. But then after going through the little bit of history, just kind of touching on it, I want to talk a little bit about, I want to go over the alphabet and pronunciation. For some of you, it's going to be pretty easy. And for some of you, it's going to be pretty hard. It just takes practice. You know, they say after the age of 11 or 13, learning a second language is a little harder than it was before that. So no one here is 13 or under, and our brains have sort of developed mostly as far as the language part goes. So it might be just, you may never get it. And I don't like to ever use the word never, but you may not this lifetime, or you may, but we're going to try to do our best to pronounce, to enunciate, to try to get the right sound, okay? I've never taught this online before, so I hope, can you guys hear me clearly? Is there anyone, am I breaking up at all? Pretty good? Okay, great. And then once we go through the alphabet, which will probably end today, we'll start talking about some philosophies, and I'll introduce words and the philosophies. I'll jump back and forth. So you guys are going to get a connection of the dots. So those of you who are new to this philosophy and practice, it's going to probably get overwhelming. Your cup's going to be full. Those of you who have had a lot of exposure or some exposure, you're going to have a lot of these aha moments. Does that make sense? So we're going to start connecting. Each dot is sort of a different text. It's so many texts, so many scriptures. And I'm going to say something, and then I'm going to talk about how a different text might perceive that same subject. And then questions will arise. We'll get to that on the next segment. But if questions arise in this segment, we'll stop and ask and answer. But once we get into the philosophy, it's going to be a little different, because sometimes asking questions derails the lecture. Does that make sense? Okay. But today, I mean, I welcome questions. Sometimes you might have to write it down and ask me later. But once I get onto the sort of train of logic that happens as a result of this Sanskrit sort of unraveling, okay. Anyways, you guys get the idea, right? Okay. Okay, so Sanskrit. The word is S, I'm going to type this out, Sanskrit. And did I spell that right? Nope. Sanskrit. Sanskrit. Some people say Sanskrit. I typed it wrong twice. Okay, K-R-I-T. Oh, I did it right every time. My brain mixed it up. Sanskrit. Some people say Sanskrit. You ever heard someone pronounce it Sanskrit? Sanskrit. So you'll hear that. I think everyone in here said Sanskrit, except for one person might have said Sanskrit. Whether when you pronounce it wrong or right, we are primary language. None of us that I can see here speak Hindi or any derivative of Sanskrit. So, but if you have a refined ear or hearing for this, changing the sound slightly, completely can change the meaning of the word, as in with English and other languages too. Okay. So, what does Sanskrit mean? I told you earlier, Sanskrit means refined, or perfect. It is a perfected language. It is a refined language, and it is an old language. How old? Hard to put a date on it, because different scholars will give you different answers. But we can say that it is older than recorded history. Older than recorded history. Can anyone tell me how old is recorded history? How old is recorded history? Is is there recorded history from the Ice Age? There is recorded history from the Ice Age? Is there a text from that? No, there's not. We know about the Ice Age from like fossils and digging in the earth and looking at sediment layers and all that, right? But there's no recording. Any recordings back then would probably be cave paintings, but those are usually like hieroglyphics or just, you know, drawings of animals, right? You know, with me? Recorded history goes back about 5,000-ish years, roughly 5,000 years. I mean, there's stuff in the pyramids that date back about 10,000 years. Some people say 30,000 years in the pyramids and hieroglyphics, but there isn't history that was recorded. Anyways, 5,000 years. That's about how old you can find ancient Sanskrit texts. Sanskrit text is recorded text, from what I understand. And I could be wrong, but this is what I understand. And those texts are called, does anyone know? The Vedas. You ever heard of the Vedas? V-E-D-A, the Vedas. V-E-D-A, V-E-D-A, Veda. I'll type it out, Vedas. The word Veda means science or knowledge. Science or knowledge, the Vedas. The Vedas are a massive collection of texts, massive, massive. As a matter of fact, it is very difficult for any one person to know all of the Vedas. Very difficult. And that's only one of several schools of thought in the motherland of India. And I think say it's they're called darshans or subjects or philosophies. Anyway, the Vedas are all in Sanskrit. Sanskrit is a language, it is known as an Indo-European language. Indo-European. Yes, some Sanskrit comes from Europe. That's why you'll see similarities in Latin, in the Romance languages, and Sanskrit. Do you guys ever see common intersections or commonalities between Sanskrit and English, Spanish, French, German, and so it's Indo-European, the Indian subcontinent, whatever. Yeah, subcontinent's big enough, I guess. And all the land, the surrounding countries who borrow from that language. As a matter of fact, there are about 300 languages in India, roughly, and surrounding areas. Most of them come from Sanskrit. Like Hindi, for example. If you ever have Indian friends, they most likely speak Hindi if they're from the south. If they're from the north, they might speak Punjabi or something like that. And that's, you'll see a lot of Punjabi in Kundalini, which is different from Sanskrit. Okay? For you Kundalinis out there. So yes, it's Indo-European. So what does that tell you? It didn't originate in India. What? Most people think that Sanskrit came from India. We don't know, but it's considered Indo-European. As a matter of fact, some historians think that the light-skinned, they're called Aryans or Aryans, came down in horses. This is all speculation. I don't know, right? This is all like scholarly stuff, academia. The light-skinned people came down into India in horses and introduced this language. I think aliens came down, really, but I mean, who knows? This stuff is so old. But think about this. If you study the history of India, horses were not around back in the day. It was mostly cows and things. There weren't horses. Even right now, are there a lot of horses in India? I don't know. I don't go to India. But why is the Bhagavad Gita, why are there horses in the Bhagavad Gita? Have you ever thought about that? Isn't that a yogic text? Everyone heard of the Bhagavad Gita? Not yes or no? Yes? Bhagavad Gita? It starts out in this massive scene of a war that's about to take place. And the main character's name is Arjuna. He's the main character, and he's got a chariot and a charioteer, and the charioteer is Krishna. And what is a chariot pulled by? Cows? No, horses. Horses. Interesting, isn't it? Are y'all fascinated yet? My mind is blown. Like, really? Okay, so Sanskrit possibly came from outside of India. Indo-European language. Sanskrit was never meant to be written. It is not a written language. This was before recorded history. Recorded history means you write it down and record it, right? So what is this language? This is a language of feeling. Feeling. You have to feel the vibrational tones of this language. I just got chills. It is a language that is meant to be passed on through oral tradition. Oral tradition. How do you get this knowledge back in the day? You had to have a teacher. You had to learn it from somebody. And the way they taught you was not through a pamphlet, not through writing, although they did write on palm leaves, but how long do palm leaves last? They would etch things in sand. They would etch it in sand and it would be gone. It's like that Buddhist tradition. You guys know in the Buddhism, they'd make mandalas with sand. They'd spend all this time, make it beautiful, so beautiful. And then they brush it away. Why do they brush it away? Because it teaches you the impermanence. Impermanence. We'll talk about that soon as well. Impermanence. So Sanskrit, being a refined language from who knows where, maybe outside of India, maybe not. It is known as the mother tongue. The mother tongue, some people say, of all languages. But I have an Indian friend, her name is Asha, and she comes from a lineage of Brahmins back in the day, you know, long lineage. She grew up in this, and she said that there is an older language, older than Sanskrit. I don't know if it's true, but it's Dravidian. You guys ever heard of Dravidian? D-R-A-V-I-D-A-N. Anyways, you can look it up. Dravidian, it's a race. It's a race of Indians. They're very dark-skinned Dravidians, and they have a language, and it's supposed to outdate Sanskrit, but I'm not quite sure. And there are very few of the Dravidians left in India. Okay. Any rate, Sanskrit. The Sanskrit alphabet. Okay, any questions before I move on? Any questions before I move on? Anything you need me to repeat?
What was Veda?
Veda means science or knowledge. And it's a collection of scriptures. It's a collection of scriptures. It's the basis of Hindu religion. It's the basis of Hindu religion, which is often misunderstood, by the way, from the West, from the outside standpoint. It's easy to look and judge, but it's better to be in it and know it and experience it to understand it. Then you can really understand it. Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to assume that's a no. Moving on. So Sanskrit, in English we have the word mother tongue of all languages. Yes. Angela? Yes, mother. Dravidian, Sanskrit is, most people will say that Sanskrit is the mother tongue of all languages. All languages, including Latin, which is also an unspoken language these days. But who knows? I'm not sure. I can't say for sure. If you ask me if I'm sure, I'll say I don't know. That's what I've been told, what I've read. It's what other scholars have said. Those who've done the research. But academia, scholars get it wrong. Sometimes they get corrected and then they update their knowledge. I'm not sure. But what I've found is that I do see a lot of similarities. For example, a yoga pose. What is the yoga pose? Cow face. You ever heard of cow face pose? Anyone not heard of cow face? What is the Sanskrit for cow face pose? Can anyone tell me? Type it in.
Gomukhasana.
Gomukhasana. Gomukhasana. So mukha face, like Adho Mukha, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, right? Face, mukha means face. Go means cow. Do you see the similarities? Check it out. You gotta have a different pronunciation. It's Gau. Gau Mukhasana. In English, we say cow. In Sanskrit, it's Gau. They sound the same. Cow and Gau. Gau Mukhasana. Gau Mukhasana. Say it with me. Actually, say it after me. Gau Mukhasana. Yeah, Gau Mukhasana. So, when I'm teaching class, my English kind of slips in, and I'll say Gau Mukhasana, but my teacher says Gau Mukhasana. I don't know. Another thing, you ever heard of you ever seen this word before on the chat? Hridaya. Hridaya. Has anyone ever seen Hridaya? Hridaya means heart. But the daya part is an extension of the word. The root word for heart is H-R-D. Hrid. Hrid. What's English? H-E-A-R-T. Heart. The Sanskrit is hrid. Hrid means heart. Isn't that cool? So, yeah, I firmly believe that it is the mother tongue of most, if not all, languages. I even heard some Chinese words in Sanskrit. Like, what? Really? If you go to Thailand, Malaysia, that area, you'll hear this all, Vietnamese is different because Vietnamese was colonized by the French. There's a lot of French influence in Vietnamese language. Anyways, okay. So let's making sure you can hear me. Can you hear me still? Yeah. Okay, Laura, are there known similarities to Latin? Laura Roberts, where are you, Laura Roberts? Oh, there you are. Yes. Are there known similarities? Yes. Do I know them? No, because I don't know Latin. But if you do the research, I'm sure you'll find some, because English is a Latin language, right? Albeit kind of a messed up one, but right. My parents, when they or my family members, when they came over from Vietnam, they said that learning English was so difficult because the rules in English change. There's no consistency throughout the language, like grammar changes, syntax changes. It's like, if you want to make a computer program based on English, you're going to have a bunch of malfunctions and crashes. You're not going to have artificial intelligence. You're going to have artificial dumbness, if that's even a word. But dumb actually means inability to speak, so I used it wrong, or wrongly. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this. Any other questions or comments? Okay, I'm gonna have to, can you hear me? You can still hear me? Hang on, I have to change out.
Hear me?
We can't hear you.
Okay, hang on.
Now we can.
You can hear me
we
now?
can. Yeah, we've got you, Ricky. You're
Okay.
fine.
So I have to switch out. I've got 2 sets of AirPods, so I can switch them out. You guys can hear me. Okay. So I'm on the red. Gotta make sure I keep them in the right package. Okay. So questions or comments? Linda, yes, you said you could hear me. Okay. No comments or questions before we move on? Want me to expand on anything? Okay, very good. So we're going to go into a screen share. I'm going to give you a link real quick. Does that link work for you guys? Okay. So you might get a better picture if you click on that link, but I'm also going to screen share. Can y'all see that? Maybe screen share is better because you can see my cursor, mouse thing, whatever you call it. Okay. All right. Are we good? Give me a thumbs up. Yes? Okay. So this is the Sanskrit pronunciations. Okay. Sanskrit is a metered language. Metered. Does that mean anything to anybody? A metered language. Let's see here. How can I see everybody? I want to see everybody. Escape maybe?
You have to stop screen share and go to gallery view.
Oh, okay, now we're going to keep the screen share. Okay, so it is a metered language, and what it means is that there's a rhythm to the language. It is spoken in beats. All right? There's 1 beat, and then there's the 2 beats. 2-beat sound is drawn out. For example, on the top of this page, we have the vowels. They're vowels, and then they're called semi-vowels. Semi, like half vowels. And that's the English translation of the types of letters or sounds these are. The first one is A, the letter A in English, A. And then the second one, you see the line on top of the A right there? That means out. It's a 2-metered sound. It's a long A. Make sense? For example, this is ah. This is ah. All right? So ah. So I'm going to go through the first line here. Actually, I'm just going to go through the first 4. Okay, the first 4. A, and I, and I. That's English. You have to switch your brain here for a minute because it's, how do you say A? Anybody? Unmute yourself. Can anybody tell me how do you say A in Spanish?
Ah.
Ah, right. So this is ah, not A, but ah. And then the next one is ah. And then the third letter there, how do you say that in Spanish?
E.
E. It's how you say it in Sanskrit. E. And then here, it's E. So it's, I'm going to say it. The way I was taught was by repeating, kind of like call and response. I would say it once, and you just repeat it. And so I'm going to go through and do the first 4 here, and then you'll just repeat it. I'm not going to be able to hear you, so I won't be able to correct you. So we'll do our best here. Or is there a way, Albina, if you're there, is there a way I can hear everybody? It won't do that, right?
No, for the quality of the sound, it's not gonna work out.
Yeah, so I'll do it, and you hear me, and then you just repeat it on your own over there. I'll do it the second time around too with you, so you can hear me. You'll be muted. You'll say it, but you'll hear me saying it as well. That work for everybody? Okay. Ah, ah. I'm sorry. Ah, ah, e, e. Ah, ah, e, e. Pretty simple, right? But not easy, huh? Okay, the next word here is you, which is ooh. And the next one is ooh. And this is I don't know if this is a semi-vowel or a vowel, but it's an R. Some people can't roll their tongues, but if you can roll your tongue, this is what it sounds like. R. R. And here, you just R. R. Right? So let's do mine again. I'll do it once, and then I'll repeat it with you. Ah, ah, e, e, oo, oo, r, r. Ah, ah, e, e, oo, oo, r, r. You just draw it out. This is an interesting sound right here. The way I learned it, didn't have an R there. You see, that's an L. That's an L, but it's a semi-vowel. Don't ask me how or why. I learned it as le. But here, if you transliterate it, it's lr. But that's not how I learned it. I learned it as le, 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 le. Here, this is E in English, but in Sanskrit, it's A. A. So when you see an E, it's not E or it's A, A, A. Like, for example, Ganapataye ends in an E. Ganapataye, Y-E, Y-E turns into yay. Okay, and then this is I. I had a student once, and she was Colombian, and she's so cute. And she would, whenever she would mess up, like she'd try to jump through, jump up, do a handstand or something and fall out. Every time she'd fall out, she'd go, "Ay!" "Ay!" Anyways, that's the sound. "Ay!" A-I, I-E, I, I. It sounds like I up here, right? I, but it's I up here is E. And E is A, and A-I is I-E. Okay? O is O, and A-U is ow. Ow, ow. Ow, 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 ow. A-U, ow. Ow. Okay. And then M, ama, ama, ama. And this is pronounced aha, aha, aha. Okay, so let us go through the entire sequence here. I'll do it. Would you prefer me to do one and then repeat, and then the next one and repeat? Or would you like for me to go through the whole line? The whole line? The whole line is the way I learned it.
I say whole line.
I say the whole line too. Okay. So now you got to put your listening ears on and empty your cup. And I will do my best. Ah, ah, e, u, r, l, a, I, o, ow, aha. Your turn. A, e, u, r, l, a, I, o, ow, aha. Okay. Does anyone have any questions or want to do that again? You can come back and listen to it again, I think. Okay, let me stop sharing. You guys have any questions or comments or want to go over that a few more times?
What I have a question. What's the little dot above the M and below the H? And
Good question. I don't know what you call it, but it changes the sound. So if you look down at the, hang on, let me screen share again. Screen share. Okay, I'm getting the hang of it. Okay, so you look down here, and there is one M sound in Sanskrit. Ma. Ma. I'm not sure what the M above the M is, but if it's underneath the H, you have an extra, so it's a, Sanskrit has this aspiration to it, like ha, ha. It's a stronger, you use your abdomen, your diaphragm to push the air out and aspirate, ha, ha. When you see that dot under there, there tends to be a sharper sound or a sharper aspiration. Does that make sense? For example, there's no other H in here. If you look down at the consonants, you see H's with the other consonants, so you're aspirating the sound. So you'll see this, like, for example, this word here, ka, K-H-A, ka. K-A is ka, ka. But then you'll see words like shanti, where it ends in H. S-H-A-N-T-H-I, shanti. You ever seen that word before? Shanti means peace, shanti. And then you'll see shantihi. So there's an extra ihi sound, even though you don't see an extra vowel at the end. You'll see a dot and you'll say, oh, that's ihi. For example, let's go to the chants page here. You see this right here? Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. But you see, it's not Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi, but there's a dot here, so I'm not sure. Shanti Shanti Shantihi. See that? There's no I here, yet you pronounce it ihi. And over here, yeah, that's beyond me at this point. All I know is it changes it up a little, but then I don't even know, this might even be wrong. I don't know. Good question. I don't have the answer to that quite, what do you call it? Precisely.
Well, that helped. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so moving down. Any other questions? Stop the screen share. Any other questions? Good question. Okay. Moving on. Screen share. Okay. Now, let's go into the consonants. Let's look at this diagram of your mouth. Guttural is like, like deep in your throat. You know, like when you're clearing your throat, it's guttural, like a cough, yeah? Everyone do that. Go clear your throat. Notice what part of your tongue touches your throat. That's number one, right? Yes? Right? It's back in the throat. That's the one location. The two location is like you know, the ending of any verb, like speaking, ing, ing. The ing is the number two. So you know, ing, ng, ng. Make that sound, ng. Like speaking, speaking, ng. That's, you see where your tongue touches the roof of your mouth? That's the number two for ng. It's kind of nasally, ng. Yes, does that make sense? So the first sound is kind of throaty or guttural. The second sound is kind of nasal, which is number two, ng. As my name in Vietnamese is Phương, Phương, ng, Phương. It's got a nasal sound to it, Phương. It was very difficult to teach English-speaking people how to say my name properly. So I was like, just call me Ricky. But my real name is Phương. That was my given name. Real name, given name is my given name. My real name, that's another talk. But my given name, Phương. It's a nasal sound. So ng. Okay, that's number two. G, ng. Number three. Now you just bring the tongue to a little bit further forward, and it'd be like Jason or chair, like jogging, j, ch. Does that make sense? Chair, jogging, ch, j. See where the tongue touches? Number is it three? Are we on three? Yeah, three, right? Ch, chair, jogging. Yeah, any of those sounds. And then four is like dog or Terry, tie, dog, t. Yeah, make that sound, t, tie, dog. And any words that have that sound, t. So you're touching right behind your teeth. Right behind your teeth. Teeth, right? You don't touch your teeth with t. Then, I mean, you could touch your teeth and still make t sound, but those are the nuances. We'll get to that in a minute. And then five is when your lips touch. Your lips touch to make what sound? P's, B's, and M's, right? Like patience, or basket, or Mary, Maria, Maria, right? Understand? Ma, 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 pa, ba, ma, ba. So this is the sort of the concept behind the speech. If you listen to babies develop their speech, they say Sanskrit words. Okay, I'm gonna stop the screen share here. You guys have that link so you can look at it on your own when we're not screen sharing. But somebody had their baby here a while ago. I just saw that. I think it was Suzanne. Is that right? Was that you? Who else? No, who was it? Was it Suzanne that had their baby there? Yeah. How old's your baby? Yeah, I'm assuming it's your baby. Could be someone else's baby.
Yeah, she's 18 months.
18 months. She's using words like ba, ma, da. They're speaking Sanskrit. What? Huh? This language is as old as, not as old as humans, but we are older than the language. But the language developed at some point. Where did it come from? Aliens. No, I don't know where it came from. Aryans brought it in on horseback. I don't know. But it's a language that was developed naturally. Naturally. And then you see the feeling of these words or these sounds. As a matter of fact, the Sanskrit word for the Sanskrit word for word is shabda. Shabda. To the text or the chat. The Sanskrit word is shabda. And shabda also means sound. Sound and word are the same in Sanskrit. I'm going to share with you another link. Okay. This tool, I think, is very valuable. I just sent it via chat. And then I will screen. How many of you guys seen this website before or use it? Am I screen sharing it? Well, I have not screen sharing. I want to see it raise the hands. I put it in the text. I put it in the text in the chat there. You can click on it and then let me know if you've seen that website before. It's Sans Mind to Elaine. No. Okay. Yeah. It's the Sanskrit dictionary. I think the guys are in Denmark, maybe. All right, so I'm going to screen share here. Okay. They changed it. I've been using this translator since over 10 years ago, and it used to have a different web address. Now it's .org, but it was I think .de, which is Denmark. Is that right? I don't know. All right, so let's type in the word shabda. So what is shabda? Translate. Word. Sound. So you can see some of the translations. Shabda. See? Shabda. Shabda. Shabda means sound or word. So these sounds have meaning into them. How many languages does the sound ma mean mother? Right? In America, we say dad, dada. But in many languages, it's ba or baba, right? Anybody ever use that word baba or ba for dad, right? And these are the first words of a kid's mouth. My baby, I have a And she calls her grandmother Dada. Dada. I'm like, I'm Dada. No, I'm Daddy. But I call my dad Ba, B-A. And Baba means father or daddy in Sanskrit. You see that name used a lot within the yogi community. They'll call a great yogi, they'll call them Babas. Great, the Babas. As a matter of fact, the Hatha yogis are known as the Naga Babas. The Naga Babas. Have you heard of Naga Baba? Anybody heard of Naga Babas? Some of you have? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so where are we? We are back to screen share. Let me see. Like Pa and Papa. There you go. Yeah, Papa. Yeah. Screen share. Yes, Chinese. Oh, Linda. Oh, you say what? Ba in Chinese? Ba? Yeah. Ba! Calling my dad. Okay, screen share. Okay, back to, nope, that's not where I want to be. Okay, so these gutturals, this first line here is with the contact point of 1. These palatals are contact point 2. So cerebrals are contact point 3. Dentals are right behind the teeth, not on your teeth, but I guess you could use your teeth for number 4, and labials are 5. Make sense? Okay. Here we go. See, when we do this live, it takes up a whole lot more time because I have to correct each person. We have the time, so let's go through that. Let's do that as well. I think we have the time. So let's do this. I'm gonna go through it, each line by line. Then we'll go through each person. This might take forever. We'll see how we'll test it out. And then I'll make any corrections if I can hear you guys. So again, gutturals. K, and then KHA has that aspiration. There's more air leaving my body, so it's K, K, K. And then this is G, G. And N-A, and the dot on the top is Ng, Ng. You ever watch the Three Stooges? Right? So here we go. K, K, G, G, Ng. Yeah? Again, let's do that. Let's do it 3 times together. Okay, here we go. K, K, G, G, Ng. K, K, G, G, Ng. Third time. K, K, G, G, Ng. Yeah? Okay. I'm going to unshare, stop sharing, whatever you call it, and let us go through. Angela Carter, Kassler.
Ricky, I can't see the screen.
So I sent you the link earlier.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Let me get to it.
I can hear you a lot better now.
I took the headphones out.
So click on that link. It's RES earlier from 6:56 p.m.
Okay, I'm there.
So go through that first line.
K, K, G, G, Nya.
No, this is the hard one. It's K, K, G, G, Ng, Ng. The tongue touches in the same spot.
Okay. Can you do it again, Ricky? I'm sorry.
It's fine. No, it's fine. So look at your diagram. You see number 1 replacement? Yes. It's K, K, G, G, Ng.
K, K, G. Can you do one and then let me do it? And then
G,
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 G.
G.
Take a deep breath in. G.
G.
Yes, you have to have air. If you don't have air, it ain't gonna aspirate.
Okay.
You know when you have like you ever watch Dr. Pimple Popper?
Hell no. No, no.
Okay. They aspirate things. So when they aspirate, they let it out. So aspiration is a sort of letting out the air. So you gotta have you got to control your lungs. It's a breathful practice. So it's g. So it's g. No, sorry. K, k, g, g. And the last one is ng. Try again. G,
Ka.
g.
Ga.
I'm sorry. K,
Ka.
k,
Ka.
g,
Ga.
g,
Ga.
ng.
Nya.
You're going nya. You're using like the 3. Nya. Nya. Like El Nino. That's later. That's another sound. Nya. Like, yeah, so I think I said it wrong. I said like the Three Stooges. That's nya, 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 nya. You know, like Curly, remember? Nya, nya, nya. Okay, so that's different. This is like nya, like the ing, nya. Like say singing, say singing.
Singing.
Say singing,
Singing ya.
singing.
Singing ya.
Not singing, singing. Say singing.
Singing ya.
Okay, so you gotta work on that. All right.
That feels so weird.
Yeah, so it's not nya, it's nga. So there's a subtlety there, nga, okay? Yeah. This is what takes a lot of time, going through everybody, correcting everybody, but you'll get a lot out of it. All right, so very good. So that's something you should work on is nga. Yeah. All right, Camille Heller is next. You want me to go ahead, go ahead.
Ka, ka, ga, ga, nga.
Yes, Cheryl Alexander. You're muted, Sarah.
I can't see the document.
Go to, okay, I sent you guys a link at 6:56 p.m. on the chat. So you gotta open up your chat.
Yeah, I got that. Okay.
Go to 6:50. Actually, I don't know your time. You might be in a different time zone, but my time. Okay, found it?
Yeah. Okay, so which
Does
one?
Does everyone have that? Okay, hang on. Does everyone have that up? Yes? Okay. So do the first line. Here, let me screen share one more time. So we're doing this guttural line right here. Ka, ka, ga, ga, nga. Okay?
Okay.
Unscreen share and come back. Okay.
Ka, 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 ga, ga, na.
One more time, please.
Ka, ka, ga, ga, na.
Okay, so your nga is sort of a hybrid between, this is what I'm hearing. Now, whether that's the reality or not, I don't know, we're over the internet. But what I'm hearing is a cross between nga and na. There's a hybrid, it's like a ngna, ngna. That's what I'm hearing, but can you do that again, the last sound?
Na.
Now that was just a no, like a no, no.
Na, na.
Again?
Na, na.
Yeah, that sounds like na. So say singing, or say sing.
Sing.
And then at the end of the sing, just add an A, singa.
Singa.
Yes, nga.
Nya.
Nga.
Ga.
Singa. Singa.
Singa.
Sing. Right. There's no N. The NG is the sound. It's NG.
Inga.
Inga. Nga. Nga. You got it. Nga.
Nya.
No, not nya. Nga.
Inga. Inga.
Nga. Nga. Right. So if you bring the tongue to the front of the roof of your mouth, your palate, whatever it's called, then you say nya. Nya. It's not ni, na, or nya. It's nga. It's the back of the tongue. Nga. Nga.
Nga.
Yes.
Nga.
Yes. It's kind of like if you were to gargle some water. What do you do? Nga, 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 nga. That's where it touches. Nga, 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 in the back of your mouth. Make sense?
Yes, I got it.
Nga. Angela, does that make sense?
Nga.
Nga. Like, I'm visualizing like gargling water.
I wonder if it's the Louisiana and us, Cheryl, because we're both doing the same thing.
Could be. All right, very good. Carrie Kelsey is next.
Ka, ka, ga, ga, nya.
You're doing nya too.
Yeah.
Nya.
Sing,
Like sing.
nya. Sing, nya.
Not, there's no N. So you just said sing. Sing. Like say singa. Nga. Singa.
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 And then say nga. Nga. Nga.
Nya. Nya.
No, you're closing. Oh, do it with an open mouth. Like it's nga. Nga.
Nya.
Nga.
Nya.
Nga. Open your mouth. Nga.
Nya.
See how you go nya? You close your mouth to make the sound. Don't close your mouth.
Okay.
Nga.
Nya. Nya.
Nga.
Nya.
Yes.
Nya.
Better.
Is that it? Okay.
The one before that was better, but the last one was better than your first one.
Okay. Okay.
Nga. Very good. Linda.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Ka, ka, ga, ga. So hard. Nga.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. So just keep practicing it. Very
Okay.
good.
Thank you.
Next is Sherry.
Ka, ka, ga, ga, nya.
Awesome. That was great.
Thank
Good job. Anna.
Okay. Ka, ka, ga, ga, nga.
Your last one was great. Your first two, let's do it again. Listen to me. Ka, ka, ga, ga. Go.
Ka, ka. Ka, ka. Ga, ga.
All right, so your second
No.
one, the one with the aspiration is a little challenged. So I want you to take a deep breath in, fill up your lungs, and then go ka.
Ka.
Yes. Ka. There has to be more air.
Okay.
Aspirating, leaving your body. So do it again, please.
Ka, ka. Ga, ka. Nga.
Yes, so listen to me. You're getting better. Ka, ka, ga, ga, nga.
Ka, ka. Ga, ga. Nga.
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 Nga. Nga.
Nga.
Nga.
Nga.
Not
Nga.
nga.
Nga, 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 nga.
Nga. Nga.
Nga.
You did it right the first time, and the second something shifted. So to work on that, nga, right? Nga. It's sing. Just think of the word sing, and then remove the si part, and it's nga.
Nga.
Sing.
Nga. Sing. Yeah. Sing. No. Yeah.
Sing.
Sing.
Nga.
Sing. Yeah.
No.
No.
So that's a hard one. It's a hard one for most people, but it's nga. Okay.
I'll work on it.
Yes. All right. Kathleen, next. Kathleen D. Asked to unmute.
Okay. Okay, I unmuted.
Yes.
Let me go back to the screen. Okay. Ka, ka, ga, ga, nya.
Good, except for the last one. The last one, what I heard was nya, which is it's supposed to be nga.
Nga,
Open your mouth more and use the back of your tongue. Nga.
nga,
Yes.
nga,
Yes, it should sound nasal,
nga, nga.
right? There should be a vibration here. Nga. Nga.
Nga,
Yes.
nga,
Nga. Nga. You should feel it right here. Nga. Nga.
nga.
If you say nya, nya, there's still a little vibration here, but it's like more in the here. When you say nya, nya, nga, nga is more here.
Nga, nga.
Make sense?
Nga.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll make more sense when we start using words.
Okay.
Then you'll see, oh, that makes sense. But learning the alphabet's always key. But you guys are doing great. Thanks, Kathleen. Next up is Jordan Higgins.
Okay. Ka, ka, ga, ga, nya.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
Victoria Walter.
Okay, let me pull it up and look at it. Okay, ka, ga, ga, na,
Nga.
na,
Nga.
na,
Nga.
na.
Nga. Nga. Look at, can you see my tongue?
Na.
I don't go. Hang on. You guys gonna get a not so pretty view of my mouth.
So the tongue is supposed to be hitting, like I should be feeling my tongue in the same spot as the first four?
Yes.
Na.
Yes, there you go. Nga.
Na.
Nga.
Na.
Nga. Nga. Not nya. Nya.
Right. Na.
Nga.
Na. Na. Na.
Yeah. Sorry.
Na.
Cavities. I have no cavities. 44 no cavities.
That is a feat.
Yeah, I'm lucky. Okay. Very good. Laura Roberts is next.
All right. Apologies, my dog is deciding to bark. So we'll see. Ka, ka, ga, ga, nya.
Not nya.
I
Nga.
na,
Not na. Nga.
nga.
So nga, nya, na. So this is N, na. We'll do that in a minute. Na, na. And then this is nya, 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 nya. Then there's nga, 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 nga. Yes, that's it. Good job. Thank you very much. And next is Maria.
Cha, cha, ga, ga, nya,
Nga.
nya,
Not nya. Not like El Nino or Nunez. Nga. Nga. Sing.
nya,
Say sing.
sing,
Sing and hold your nose and go sing. Sing. It's hard to say sing and hold your nose. Say sing.
sing,
See, if you
sing,
close your nose, it doesn't. The sound doesn't come out. But you can say sing, you know, because it's nasally. So sing nga nga.
nya, nya,
Nga.
na,
Take your tongue further back.
na,
Go say g.
ga,
See where your tongue touches? G. G.
ga.
It's in
Is
the
that
back.
in, It's not touching anything.
Huh?
It's not touching anything with ga.
I'm sorry?
When I say ga, it doesn't touch my tongue anything. It's in the air. Ga.
G. Say go.
Go.
Tongue touch anything?
No.
Okay, say ka.
Ka.
Did your tongue touch anything?
The back.
Right. It's the same spot. Every single sound is the same spot. Ka, ka, ga, ga, nga. So say ka.
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 Like cough. Cough. Ka. Right? Yeah. So it's the same spot in the back of your tongue. Ka. Nga.
No.
No, you just brought your tongue to the front. You said no, like no. When you say no, the tongue touches like Nunez. It's in the front. Right? So bring it back to the back. Ka.
Ka.
Say ka, nga.
Ka. Na.
So that you have to work on that one. Ka, nga, nga. It's hard. I'm telling you, this is a hard, I think this is the part of the hardest sound for most of us. Thank you very much. Madison, next.
Okay. Ka, ka, ga, ga, na.
Same thing. It's not na. It's nga.
Na.
Nga. Can y'all hear the difference when I say it? Hang on. I'm gonna say it correctly. I'm gonna say it incorrectly. Nga. Can y'all hear the difference? Yes or no?
It glitched.
It glitched. Let's try again. Correct is nga. Incorrect is na. So I'll say it again. Nga, na. Did you hear the difference?
Yes.
All right, so here's the other one that some of you guys do. Nga, nya. Did y'all hear the difference there?
Mm-hmm.
Nga, nya. Right? The second one was nya, like Nunez or El Nino. Or what's an English word? I don't know an English word for it.
Funyun.
Funyun? Funyun. Onion. There you go. Funyun onion. Nyan nyan. That's nya. That's like nino. Who said that? Who said that?
Victoria.
Good job. Good job. Where is Victoria? There it is. Okay. All right. So you want to try it one more time?
Sure. Okay. Ka, ka, ga, ga, na.
Oh, it's okay. Work on that one, okay?
Okay.
Cindy. I can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Ka, ka, ga, ga. Nah. I think I had it first, but hearing everybody got me all confused. Nah.
Nga.
Nah.
Nga. Nga. It's not Funyun. It's nga. Nga. Sing. Sing. Nga. Nga. Sing. Nga.
Nah. 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 It's almost like a GN.
Or you can do ka. Nga. Ka is just it's the same sound. I mean, it's the same placement for all the sounds. The aspirations are just different. You see what I'm saying? So it's ka, ka, ga, ga, nga. The placement of the tongue is the same. Just some are stronger aspirations than others. Ka, I mean, ka is a soft aspiration. Ga is even a softer aspiration. And then nga is even the softest aspiration. Nga. When I do it hard, it becomes nga, ga, ka. Ka is the strongest aspiration.
Na, ga, ga, ka, ka.
King Kong, that's it. King Kong. King Kong. King Kong. Nga, nga. Okay. This is always fun. My brain is like swelling. I can feel it getting bigger right now. Who wanted more brain cells? Did you get some yet? Mine's, if you take a before and after picture from before the training and after this 3 hours, you're going to see that my head swells because I have no hair. You can see it.
There's a bunch of synapses being created as we're using all these new sounds in the back of our throat that we hardly ever use.
Yep.
Similar to when Albina had us screaming and yelling for our archetypes, it's similar activations in the throat. I teach language.
So you're going to eat this up. This is great, right? I love it. What's a study of words called?
Like literacy?
No.
Etymology? Or that's bugs, never mind.
Etymology.
It is?
Yes.
Which one is bugs?
Let's stay on this topic of words.
Mixology.
Etymology. Etymology is the
Yeah, type it in there in the chat so we can all see.
Oh.
Okay, next is Suzanne.
Okay. Ka, ka, ga, ga, na.
That sounded right. Do it again, please.
Ka, ka, ga, ga, na.
Excellent. Your baby taught you.
Yeah.
Elaine? Is it Elaine or tell me how do you want your name pronounced?
It's Eileen.
Elaine. Got it.
Eileen. Just Eileen. Okay. Hearing everybody else, I'm like, oh, it's overwhelming. So ka, ka, ga, ga, na.
Can you do that again with a little more aspiration on the second and
Okay.
the fourth?
Ka, ga, no. Ka, ka, ga, ga, na.
Okay, so the last one, you're pretty good at the last one, but the first two and the second two. So
Okay.
the first one is softer, ka.
Ka.
And then the next one is take a deep breath in and then go ka.
Ka.
It's almost like a cough, right? Ka.
Yes. Ka,
Ka. So it's ka, ka.
ka, ka. Ga, ga.
Yeah, like Kali, and then like Kali is K-A, Kali, and then there's Mukha, K-H. Mukha. It's not Mukha, it's Mukha.
Mukha.
Right, like Go Mukhasana, Adho Mukha, Svanasana. It's ka. So ka, ka.
Ka. Mera.
You got it, you got it.
Ka, ka.
Yes,
Ga, ga.
yes. And then,
No.
nga.
No.
King Kong.
No.
King Kong.
No.
King Kong. King Kong. Say
King
King
Kong.
Kong.
King Kong.
And then remove the ki and the ka. And just say nga, nga,
No.
nga.
Hold on. King Kong. No. No.
Better. Better.
Okay.
Something to work on.
Yeah.
Thank you. Irene.
Okay. My paper here. Ka, ka, ga, ga, in,
Nga.
na, na.
Nga.
What that last one?
The last one is nga.
I'm saying gna,
Nga.
na.
Yeah. So you got the first four sounds were correct, but the last one was still nga, which you guys are going to excel when we get to the next line. But
Okay.
it's nga. So okay, not terribly. It's not going to make or break our session if you can't get that first sound. Okay, everybody, it's all good, but it's nga, nga. So here are the three sounds: nga, nya, na. Oh, hear the difference? Nga, nya, na. Like King Kong, likes onions, but no. No, nah. Right? Make sense? Okay. Next, Lori.
Okay. ka, ka, ga, ga, nga.
Yeah, the last one was great. So the second one with the bigger aspiration, you got to take a bigger breath before you make that sound. So it's ka, ka, ga, ga.
Okay. Ka, ka, ga, ga, nga.
Yes. So do it again. So you say ka, and then say ka, and then take a deep breath and go ka, and then go ga, and take a deep breath and go ga, like gasping, you know?
Okay. All right, I'll try.
Right.
Ka, ka, ga, ga, nga.
Yes. Yes. Michelle. My Michelle.
Okay. Ka, ka, ga, ga, nya.
First four were good. The last one you said nya.
Nya.
Nya, 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 nya.
Kanga, nga.
Yes, yes, yes. Very good. Kitson, I see your face now. Hi. Unmute.
Unmute. I hit the wrong button. Okay, my internet is really choppy, so I'm going to turn my face off. Stop video. Okay. Okay, I'm doing it off my memory because I don't have the thing in front of me now. So, ka or ka, ka, ga, ga, nya.
No, it's nga. You're saying nya. But I like how
Nga.
yeah. So this is how it was taught. It wasn't taught by reading. It was taught by listening. This is how it was taught back in the day. It was taught through sound, shruti. You have to listen. That which is passed on through oral tradition. So you guys are getting, this is amazing. I love it. Linda, did you go yet? You did, right? See, who hasn't gone? Lori, you've gone, right? Lori Schumacher? Mark?
I already went.
Okay, did everyone go? Did anyone not go? Roger and Alvina? Mark, you went, right?
Nope.
No, so
Sorry, you're a bit choppy there, Ricky. Did you want me to go?
yes, you go. Do you want me to say it first?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Hopefully. Ka, ka, ga, ga, na.
Say it again.
The last one or all?
All of them, the whole line.
Ka, ka, ga, ga, na.
Yes, a little better. And there's a little refinement on the last one. There was a little bit of a na to it, but it was more nga than na. And the aspirated ones, ka and ga, just take a bigger breath in so you expel air more. Can you do it one more time, please?
Ka, ka,
Yes.
ga, ga, na.
Yes. So just that was, the nga was better than the last, but it still felt a little timid. So you just practice it. Nga, nga, nga. Okay? Very good. Who else has not gone? Who's this? Who's this? Ashley. Is that a new person? I don't remember an Ashley from before. Ashley, are you there? Unmute so I can hear you or see
I
you.
am. I apologize. I was in a therapy visit with my daughter. I just got out. I was going to try and join in at the last part of the meeting. I apologize.
It's okay. So you can review this later, but we've gone through a lot. So just you should have access to this, and you can do it on your own as well.
Yes.
And under the chat, I sent a few links. Okay. Welcome.
Thank you kindly.
You're welcome. Yeah. And so who has not gone? Roger and Albina. Okay to not go. Anyone else? No, I don't see. Okay, so let's do this, you guys. We've been at this for 2.5 hours, I think, right? 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 7:30, 2.5 hours just about. Let's take a 5-minute. Jordan Higgins wants to do, hang on, there is a weird silent G that I just can't pronounce yet. Do we have an M and an H semi-vowel? Can we do, yeah.
Is it ama?
Ama aha. Ama aha.
Ama aha.
Yeah, ama
Okay.
aha.
Thank you.
And then there's a weird silent G that I just can't pronounce yet. Madison. Madison. There you are. You can unmute. But what do you mean?
It's like in the na, there's like a G in the middle of it, right? Like that's kind of like what it sounds like.
No, it's NG.
It's NG. Okay.
Yeah. Like, do you pronounce the G when you say sing?
Sing. No.
That's the weird silent G.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right. Mirror to look at your lips. Help. Can you spell it, Ricky? R-I-C-K-Y. That was a joke. What did you want me to spell, Angela? Where are you?
The M and the H. The M and the H semi-vowels.
Ama, aha. A-M-A or A-H-A. Ama, aha. Did you get that? Yes. Yes, that works. 2 M's. In Sanskrit, that would be amma. Remember, it's A-M-A. Amma. Sanskrit's a meter, so 2 M's would be a long M. Ma, like, you know, at the end of the Om. But there's a talk on the Om itself later. But yes, it's A-M-A and A-H-A. Amma, aha. That's how I was taught. Another student of mine, Indian student, grew up in India, scholarly Indian guy. He didn't say ama, he said ma. Like, but we have ma later on as well. Not ma and ha. My lineage that I'm sharing with you guys is. Let me grab the pictures of my teachers for you. So this is T. Krishnamacharya. Have you heard of him? That's my grand teacher. He was an Indian scholar. He taught this guy, Srivatsa Ramaswamy. He studied with he studied with Krishnamacharya for 33 years. He's a scholar. When he came to the United States, they gave him a green card or citizenship or whatever it is. I think it's citizenship. But under the citizenship title, he had special. Some of you guys might know this. Special skills or something like that. Someone of extraordinary capacity. You know what I'm talking about? If you can get that title when you get your citizenship, huh?
They get like a special type of passport. You can go through different countries, like without, like they give you like an ID.
Yeah.
I just learned when I met the Dalai Lama. They have like a
United States. He came over with special something because he's a scholar and his knowledge in yoga and all that, the Vedas and everything, Sanskrit. So I learned from him. So it's going to be a little different. When I went to Florida to teach, I'm not saying that I'm great. Again, I make mistakes all the time. But when I was in Florida teaching at the school, the Ananda School of Hatha Yoga, the co-founder of that school said that listening to me, he said, I feel like you learned from Indian scholars. Your chants, he was very impressed. So anyways, not to like toot my own horn, but I learned things a little. I'm just going to share with you to the best of my ability. Okay, so if no one has any other questions, let's take a 5-minute bathroom break. Can we do that? You guys want to take a little break so you don't have to? Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's take 5 minutes. Come back.
I have to hear it like 1,000 times to get it from the brain to come out, because I think someone said that I can hear it in my head perfectly, but when it comes out of my mouth, it's not.
Right.
If I write it down, I have to split it in, like 3 different ways to kind of pronounce it, or, just correctly sound it out. So it just, just hearing it, that's the hearing part has always been very hard for me. It's like I have to hear it like repetition to finally get it from the brain out from the mouth. So it's been very hard for that. I came from a family who spoke Spanish and English mix, and half the time it was not correctly. It was like, slang. I grew up that way. And so that's always been very, how can I say it? I always been very scared to speak something that I didn't understand or something I heard, but I was always scared to kind of say it out. So I think, just this is, I have to say thank you so much, because I feel like I'm learning English in a different form of wording and sounds. It's been really interesting to really pronounce things, mouth open, and, take that deep breath and let it out, so thank you for that. I know that's something I would have to still work on with the hearing part,
Right.
Because like I said, in the brain, I can, see it. And I know, if I probably speak in my dreams, it'll probably sound really well, but here I'm like, oh, it's not coming out the way I want it from the brain to the mouth. But however, I just want to say thank you so much, because it has helped me to really kind of, it's a different language to me in a lot of ways, even though it sounds simple, but it's, so thank you so much. I mean, that was very, very eye-opening for me.
You're welcome. You're welcome very much. Did you have a question?
It was just, like I said, my thing is the hearing part that's the hard part for me. I have to hear it constantly over and over and over for me to finally get it out.
It's what it takes for all languages. And after the age of 13, so they say, it's harder. And none of us are below 13. But one of the things that Patanjali talks about is that once you're able to get what he calls samadhi, you can use that power of samadhi and learn all animal languages. This is in the Yoga Sutras, which I'll talk about this weekend. So it looks like we've lost a few people, yes or no? How many people do we have? 23, last one. Who did we lose? Who did we lose? Irene. Okay, we will continue. Okay, everyone is back? Yes. Okay, so there's some text messages here, or chats. Okay, that's something else. That's not yoga related. Hi, Madison. Okay, that's not yoga related.
No, sorry. For some reason, we used to have a way to message us privately, but now it's a community chat. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Let's try to keep this all subject related.
Yeah. We used to have a way to message us privately to a specific name. So, yeah.
Only if it has something to do with the subject matter. If it could be off subject, but it has something to do with subject, so we can all stay focused. Okay, moving on. So we have about 20 minutes to finish the rest. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. So moving on. This is the next line, palatal. However you say that. Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. Again, cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. Again, cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. Okay? Cindy Dotson, you're up.
Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya.
Perfect. Angela.
Is it me? Sorry.
Cha,
Cha.
cha, ja, ja, nya.
Perfect. Downhill from here, you guys. Kathleen.
Cha, cha, ja, ja, nga.
That was nya. That was the first sound. This one is nya, like El Nino, Nunez, nya, onion, onion.
Nya.
Perfect. Linda, next.
Okay. Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya.
Perfect. Camille, next.
Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya.
Perfect. Carrie, next.
Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya.
Perfect. Maria.
Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya.
Can you say the first? Your sound is a little muffled. Can you say the first four again?
Cha, cha.
Are you saying cha like chair?
Ja. Ja.
Say it again from the beginning, from the top.
Cha. 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 Ja. Ja. Yeah.
So you got the nya down. So the first four. I'll say it again. Let me see.
Cha. Cha. Ja. Ja.
So it's cha, 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 ja, ja, nya. You got the nya down, right? That's like Spanish. This is cha, ja, ja. Go.
Ja. 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 Ja.
Yeah, good. Okay, so you guys ever heard of the chakra? The chakras?
Cha.
Do you see the in here? Okay, chakra. C-A-K-R-A. C-A-K-R-A. It's chakra. Have you ever heard of chakra? Have you ever heard anyone say chakra with an SH? That's not right. It's not chakra. It's chakra.
Chakra.
Chakra. Yeah, it's chakra. Cha.
Chakra.
Chakra. So it's not chakra, it's chakra. Okay, very good. Let's see. Stop sharing. Next is Kitsen. You can disconnect your video if you need to.
Yes, I need to. Oh, goodness. Okay. Cha, cha, ja, ja, na.
Nya.
Nya.
Yes, very good. Next is, looks like I have Sherry.
Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya.
Again, last one.
Nya.
Again.
Nya.
Yes. You're batting 100. Ah, good job, bravo. Cheryl Alexander, you changed, didn't you? You were wearing white a while ago, I think. I can't hear you. You're muted. Cheryl Alexander, you're muted. Am I muted? I can't, we can't hear you.
I'm sorry, it was my fault.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now I gotta pull my thing back up. Hang on.
Did you change?
Yes, I did because it's almost bedtime for me. It's not.
Okay,
I'm an
okay,
hour
yeah.
later than y'all.
Making sure.
You're so observant, Ricky.
I don't know. Sometimes.
Okay. Okay. Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya.
Perfect. Aline.
Okay. Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya.
Perfect. Anna.
Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya.
Perfect. Suzanne.
Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya.
Last one again.
Nya.
You got a 95 out of 100 on that one. It's very close. It's like nya, nya. It's like a hybrid between nya and nya. Did you hear the difference there?
Mm-hmm.
Nya, 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 nya.
Nya.
Yes. Nya. Good job. Madison.
Okay. Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya.
Yes.
Great.
Michelle. Michelle.
Sorry. Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya.
Perfect. Victoria.
Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya.
Perfect. Laura.
Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya.
Perfect. Lori.
Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya.
Perfect. Mark.
Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya.
Yes. Kipson, did you go already? Yes. Ashley, you want to try?
Hold on. Yes, of course. So cha, cha, ja, ja, and nya.
Yeah, not bad. Good job. Good job. So are you looking at the link I sent you at all, or are you just
No,
listening?
I just listened and wrote down what you said.
That's it. This is how you learn it. You listen with the finest tuned ear, with the clearest mind possible to try to recreate. Absolutely. Good job. All right, who has not gone? Lori, have you gone? Are you there?
I'm here. I already went.
Yeah, you went. Maria, everyone's gone, right? Yes? All right, moving on. We're almost done. There's a couple things here that are not on this, but we'll get to that in a minute. All right, so here, this is going to be a little tricky because they look the same. The difference is the dot at the bottom of the T's and the D's. This is going to have more aspiration, meaning more air, a little bit more. The next line is going to have more of a sharper sound, less aspirated. Does that make sense? Here's the subtlety. Ta, ta, da, da, na. Next line, ta, ta, da, da, na. Did y'all hear the difference? You did. Okay. So
No,
again,
I didn't get the difference. Can you repeat the first two,
yes.
please?
very, very. This is the second hardest part, I think, is when I remember learning this with my teacher. He just kept repeating it, and we were just like, it sounds the same. It sounds the same. It's so. For example, ta, ta, da, da, na, na, na. The tongue is touching behind the teeth. The tongue is touching behind the teeth. See am I screen sharing? Yes. So the teeth, let's say the teeth are right here. And the tongue is touching, not quite here, but like right here. So it's 3. You're on the 3. The cerebrals is 3 right here. But think of it as being closer to the teeth. So you go ta, ta, da, da, na, 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 na. The second line, the second to the last line here is more dental. So you're almost touching the back of your teeth right here. The ta, ta, da, da, na, na, na. If you didn't have teeth, it would be very difficult to make that sound. Does that make sense? If you had no teeth, it would be very, you're like calling out there. You're like, ta, 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 I can't do it right. You don't got no teeth. You know what I mean? You gotta make sure you got some teeth. Get your teeth, put your teeth into it. You know what I'm saying?
May I ask you a question, Ricky?
Who said that?
It's Ashley. Can you explain me the difference between the NA with the dot underneath and the NA without the dot underneath?
Right.
You might have already explained this. I'm sorry.
No, I just explained it. It's the placement of the tongue. So the tongue.
So is one a 3 and one a 4?
Yes. So one is na and one is na. Na, 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 na. You know, it's kind of like the difference between nga and nya. Nga, nya. Nga, nya. I know it sounds the same, but it's not. Yes, it changes with force of air. Yes. As you move deeper into the sequence, the beginning more of an aspiration. To the end, you're going to have a softer aspiration. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I have a question.
Which one is the 3 and which one is the 4?
Okay, let's
Sorry.
see here. No, you're fine. Let me open the screen sharing. Do you see? So this is 3 placement right here. This is nya, 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 nya. Is that right? No, that's 2. 3 is nya. So it's na, na, na. It's like I'm pressing this. Na, na, na. When I go to the NA, it's na, na. This part of my tongue. Na, 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 na. Like no. Na is like no. And nya is like a softer no. No. No, 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 no. Okay. When we're using our Sanskrit to teach yoga, this is negligible.
Ricky, can I have a question? Cheryl.
Okay, who said
Cheryl?
Cheryl. Cheryl. There you wait, Cheryl, where are you? Hang on. Cheryl.
Waving at you. I'm waving.
Oh, there it is. Got it.
Okay. Isn't the main thing where you're putting your tongue to pronounce it? I mean, it's where the tongue originates, right?
Where it touches the roof of your mouth.
That's what I'm saying. Where you put your tongue to originate the sound.
Yes.
You put it either right there in the top of or at the back of the teeth. So the dentals are called dentals because they're touching the teeth.
The back, yes.
The cerebrals are called cerebrals because the tongue is reaching up towards the brain in the middle of the roof of the mouth.
Yes.
Yes, that's the difference between those lines. One, the tongue is more up in the roof of the mouth. The dentals, the tongue is actually touching the teeth, right? Am I right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
There's your answer, Ashley. Here's another way to look at it. You ever see the comedian Peter Russell? Anybody? Yes. Okay, he's a Canadian guy, but he's Indian, and he's funny because he imitates Indian accents a lot. If you imitate an Indian accent, you understand what this is. So, and I'm not making fun. I'm using this to educate. For example, when you're making Indian accent, you bring the tongue back. You bring the tongue back. Tongue. You bring the tongue back. Your tongue. You bring the tongue back. I brought my tongue back to make the tongue sound. You see what I'm saying? Oh, you like that, Bobby? But yeah, but it's a package deal, you know. But you gotta think the tongue goes further back. You know, it's like the tongue you have to pull the tongue back to make these sounds. Like for example, it's not hatha yoga. It's not hatha yoga. It's hatha yoga. Ta. You've heard that before? Hatha yoga. Hatha yoga. But it's spelled Hatha with a dot on it. Hatha yoga. If you say sa, you see where my tongue is? Sa, hatha. It's not hatha. It's hatha. You bring the tongue back. You bring the tongue back to the ta. You know what I'm saying? The ta. Bring the tongue back to hatha. Something to think about. Okay. Okay. What are we doing? Where are we? Who are we? What am I? What time is it? 8:29. It is time to end the show, you guys. Let us pick up where we left off. So next time we are on the cerebrals, right? Is that where we're at? Cerebrals. Okay, so you guys make a note of where we're at. Next time when we come back, remind me, and then I'll continue where we left off. Let's see here. Your head bobbing, like you're almost curling the. Yes, you're curling the tongue. You're definitely curling the tongue. Curl the tongue. May I ask someone to share the link? Okay, you're welcome.
Shared. Thank you, Ricky.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, you guys. Let's finish up with the invocation.
Yeah.
You can, go back to my website. Did I share that link with you? If not, here it is. I will share the link right now. Okay. You can do the MP3 files and study it later. And next time, hopefully you guys will chat with me. You can look at the transliteration if you're wanting to follow along. Breathe in for Om. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu, ma vidvishavahai. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ricky.
Any
Thank you all.
Okay, take care, everyone.
Any
Bye-bye.
questions you have? Write it down. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye-bye,
you.
Ricky.
Gracias. Thank you.